You're being lied to. These PokeTubers are out here hurting y'all like sheep in a pen. They've got you believing and thinking exactly what they want you to, all while they hold the deepest, darkest, easiest secrets to their chest. Well, I'm here to disrupt the cabal, and I'm here to spill the beans. Spill the beans? Spill the milk? Spoil the milk? Whatever it is, I'm here to share all the sauce with you and help you understand the real secrets behind Pokemon investing. My name's Matthew, I'm with RARTCG, and if you like Pokemon investing, drama, or Pokemon business content, I really encourage you to like and subscribe. If you agree with what I'm talking about, all the secrets to Pokemon investing in this video, definitely comment down below, let me know your thoughts. And if you disagree, before you leave, hit that dislike button, but I also recommend that you jump down and let me know why you disagree with my takes. I'd be really interested to learn from you so that you can help me understand your perspective and point of view on things, because it's only natural that we'll differ in some ways or the other. Here's what I mean by everyone's lying to you. And this is a video to really encourage anyone out there that wants to be successful in investing in Pokemon, just to do your thing. I want to give you like the simple ABCs of investing, allow you to be successful without feeling like you have to be on this treadmill grind of consuming hundreds or tens, dozens of videos every single day from PokeTubers. Because to be honest, everyone on YouTube, myself included, we are all incentivized to create drama, to create some need for you to come back and watch my next video. Well, my goal in this video is if you are just interested in Pokemon investing, I'd like this to be your one-stop shop for everything you need to know today in 2025 and forever moving forward. So that way in 2035, when people look back and they see this video, all of the processes and procedures still remain the same. This is unless Pokemon decides to lose the top slot and truly crash into zero, and no one remembers what Pikachu is. I think the odds of that happening in 10 years are extremely low. I won't say 0%, but they're extremely, extremely low. There are some principles and some key takeaways, kind of the ABCs, that will really set you up for success and make it to where you no longer have to watch videos every single day and stress out about what kind of plays you're missing. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And remember, the data is the data, as Nostalgianomics always says. Here's what the data is. Ever since the release of Pokemon, every single sealed product has gone up over time. That is the data, okay? And the data is what you need. That is going to be our foundation up until this point in 2025. Over the long term, we're talking 3+ years, 5+ years, Pokemon sealed product has gone up. There hasn't been these long stagnant periods of time like you see in more vintage Magic and things like that have kind of settled and stood still. There have definitely been pockets of time where different kind of verticals of the Pokemon card hobby have kind of settled down, corrected, and then taken longer to get it back up and start growing. But over the long course, everything grows up and to the right. And so this is not a guarantee by any means. Like I said, Pokemon could do something crazy next year, and then 9 years from now, nobody even remembers who Gyarados is, Misty, Brock, Ash, Pikachu. It could fade into obscurity. That happens all the time. Will it happen to Pokemon at some point? I think for sure. But is that going to be in our lifetimes? I don't know. It doesn't seem likely, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into the video. We're 4 minutes in. Let's talk about the foundations. Well, if we're going to build a house, we have to have a solid foundation. And that is the track record and history of Pokemon cards and Pokemon card investing, which is over the course of time, over a long enough period, Pokemon cards always go up and to the right, the sealed product. So that's number A. That's letter A. Let's talk about letter B. Letter B is what you should buy. See what I did there? So here's the products that you should buy. This is you hear this all the time on videos. But again, content creators intentionally leave you with a hook. Like, come back next week so that you can see the other hot products that you need to be buying to increase your holdings and become a better Pokemon investor. No, that is not true. That is a lie. Here's all you need to know. Pokemon booster boxes are king. If you can buy booster boxes at or below MSRP, you could even make an argument for right above MSRP. You can buy those, keep them sealed in your closet, and forget about it. And then 2 years down the line, you can say, oh, I remember I have that Scarlet and Violet Obsidian Flames box chilling in my closet. I should go check that out. This is 2027. You go and you check that box, and all of a sudden it's doubled or tripled in price. Who knows what the actual percentage growth will be, but I would bet you, I'm not going to say guarantee, there's a high likelihood that that box is worth more at that time than what it was when you bought it. So if you're going to buy any sort of product, buy booster boxes. Okay, and this is a good kind of segue into a really important factor of this video. Right now in the bull market, with content creation surging, so many channels have found their footings, have created, part-time, full-time jobs for people, that you have this constant market watch content happening. It's just like what I described, where people are analyzing different products, looking at different plays, saying, hey, maybe this is where you should jump in, maybe this is what you should consider selling. All of that is just noise to keep you on the treadmill, on the grind of content creation. If you enjoy that content, that's great. But if you're truly looking to be an investor, you should block out the noise and just focus on the essentials, okay? That's picking what to invest in, which we picked Pokemon as our foundation A. B is what to buy. Pokemon booster boxes. Now you may be saying, are there any other products that you would recommend buying? There are a couple other products that have, kind of solid track records. That would be ETBs. Just know that an ETB is a bit bigger than a booster box. And if you want to grow like a substantial kind of collection, sealed collection investment, you're going to need space for that. You may start by buying 1 or 2 booster boxes of every set, and then want to move into, buying booster boxes and ETBs. And the other product that maybe you want to look at is something like the booster bundles. This very simple product that comes with 6 packs. Like those 3 products in and of themselves, that's all you need to know. Literally, that's all you need to know to get started investing. Just know this, that over the course of the next 2 years, if you truly take on this path and you start to accumulate product, you can put that away in your closet, but you're gonna run out of space eventually, right? And you're gonna need to think about how to consolidate and how to most effectively manage your kind of inventory or sealed collection. So that's gonna be something that you need to, consider and think about, and maybe find some solutions to that. There's hundreds if not thousands of options that you have available. So those are the 3 primary kind of items that I would recommend investing in. If you're watching this again in the future, 10 years in the future, who knows, maybe Pokemon just released a brand new collectible sealed product that's extremely efficient and extremely focused towards long-term collectors, okay? That could be something that's realistic in the future that I don't even know exists right now. How exciting is that? There are some products, right now in the bull market, there's this big push to buy everything. Everything's gonna go up. I would really avoid doing that. I would stick to those 3 main items. There is an argument right now with the rip and ship culture, as huge as it is, that sealed packs is a viable option for some sort of long-term holding. That's definitely true right now, and that could remain true in the future. I don't think rip and ship culture is going anywhere. I think that we're just in the beginning stages of what that's really gonna look like, okay? To be honest, that's my true feelings. I'm also kind of crazy. I don't think rip and ship is necessarily bad for the hobby. I think that Pokemon as a company will adjust to that. I think we'll see more and more printing than we've ever seen before, that's been the story ever since Pokemon cards released, okay? Maybe there were a couple years here and there where the printing went down depending on demand. But if there's gonna be increased demand because of the presence of rip and ships, then of course Pokemon's going to adjust to that over time. So those are the 3 products. when it comes to collection boxes, all of these ancillary products, they become extremely bulky, they're extremely big. The space per pack for the item is extremely inefficient, okay? And that's one of the reasons why ETBs, some people avoid ETBs for long-term holds, because there's only 8 to 9 packs in those, and the actual box is so much bigger than what that would be otherwise. So booster boxes, ETBs, and booster bundles are kind of the main primary thing. Number C is how long, like letter C, the ABCs of investing. C is know your time horizon. So if you are truly looking to invest in Pokemon, then you're truly looking to have this for a long period of time. I highly recommend. I get that Pokemon investing is exciting. I get that it's really hype and popular right now, and so you may be thinking like, this is me. I'm now a Pokemon investor. I'm gonna make mega millions from investing in Pokemon today. I just want you to know that you need to do some self-reflecting and really know what your game plan and your goal is. Because if you're not really here for the long term, or if you do something irresponsible financially, you could put yourself in a position where you end up having to sell some of your products at a loss. We're gonna talk more about like the selling side of it as we wrap up the video, but just know that if you're buying irresponsibly, and what I mean is if you're taking out credit cards, lines of debt in order to build a collection or investment, that is not, in my opinion, the way to do it. Of course, businesses can leverage debt to kickstart what they're doing and everything like that. I'm really kind of anti-debt. I actually don't have any credit cards in my life, anything like that. Could I benefit from having a credit card? Absolutely, there are some huge benefits. And so will I always have this stance? No, probably not. Someday in the future for my Pokemon business, I probably will have a credit card and utilize that to benefit my business. But right now I have this very hard stance against it. And so I don't have any credit cards in my life, and I just put this in perspective. Pokemon cards are pieces of cardboard. It is a physical product that you have to store, take care of, and make sure it's like maintained over time in order to truly get the max value for it later on. If you do not have the right conditions in your living space to safely secure and store your products, then maybe Pokemon card investing isn't for you. And I know that sucks to hear, but maybe think about how you can enhance, improve your space, maybe get a dehumidifier and things like that, just to make sure that things are what they need to be. Make sure that those products are not just sitting out in like direct sunlight and things like that. You don't have to worry about all of those factors if you're just gonna invest like for your retirement in a 401k, put it in mutual funds, the S&P 500. Like you don't have to worry about that. It is a physical thing. It's businesses that you're investing in, but you and your money and what you're buying is stocks, which is not something you have to excessively worry about, especially if you have a low risk tolerance. Okay. Stocks are very similar. Like you want to hold, you don't want to take money out of your 401k. You get penalized for it. You want to keep money in as long as possible so that you can get compounding interest working in your favor. The same is true for your Pokemon holdings as well in your sealed collection. So be very careful with how you are purchasing and acquiring products. I would really recommend, if you're just looking to get started investing, that you just set aside some money each and every paycheck. It's going to differ for everyone. All of us have different levels of like fun money. Some of us are very tight, so maybe we're living paycheck to paycheck. And so even though we may have a dream of Pokemon investing in the future, it's not realistic for us right now. We need to focus on the main things, and that's perfectly fine. While some of you may make a lot of money relative to your living costs, and you may be able to put aside $500 to $1,000 every single paycheck. Who knows? None of us have the same story, but that's perfectly okay. It's still possible, okay? That's essentially what I'm trying to say. And here's what's really cool, though. And this is right before I kind of wrap up this video, which means we're about halfway through. Little Rudy reference. So I'm going to wrap up with like selling and when it's time to sell, how to do that efficiently. But as you're buying, like just setting aside just small amounts of money, throwing it into an envelope, that way you can run to your local card store and buy some boxes for yourself later on. Like that is so powerful for the reasons we're about to talk to, especially if you have the other foundational pieces all set, which is A, we're investing in Pokemon and it only goes up and to the right over time. Historically speaking, the data is the data. And then B is how to buy. You're buying products. C is for how long. So if your time horizon is in the right place, you're setting aside money, you have boxes, there is something special that happens at year 2, year 3 from having those boxes. Because as I said, you purchase these at a good buy-in price. You purchase them at MSRP, you purchase them at 100, let's go with $150 per box. So if you got two $150 boxes, it doesn't even matter what it is. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. So you have a $150 box that over the course of 2 to 4 years has tripled in price. So it's now a $450 box. And let's say you bought 2 of them. You buy 2 of every box. So in 2 to 4 years, when it's $450, you can then make a decision at that point to say, hey, maybe I should sell one of my boxes. So what you initially invested in was the 150. Now you have $450 in theory that you could then put into other boxes. In theory, if you didn't have fees, if you didn't have to sell at a percentage of market, and you have truly $450, then you could potentially buy 3 boxes at that time. Whereas you're still only working with that initial investment, even though it's grown in value over time. That's if you start doing the math, if you start putting together the pieces. I'm not going to just spell it out for you, A, B, and C. If you start doing the math of that compounding over time, over the next 5 to 10 years, if you just did that approach, that's insane. Okay? It's insane what you can accomplish, but you have to be diligent. You have to have a safe space and environment. You can't open them bad boys. I know how it is, guys. So yeah, you can be successful in this. Let's go ahead and talk about the last piece, which is selling. Oh, there's something I want to talk about before that. So I want to talk about picking sets. That's like a big conversation right now with PokeTubers is, I'm going to pick sets because it's a bull market. I only want the best. Well, if you watch Rudy from Alpha Investments, his big thing is stay the course. You just need to buy what you can and spend in smart, reasonable ways. It doesn't matter what the set is because truly nobody truly knows what the top set is going to be 5 years from now for Scarlet and Violet. Of course, there is. You could make arguments for Paldea Evolved. You can make arguments for Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals, I think, will be a very successful box. Will it be the most expensive box? Time will tell. So I'm just trying to say, just set aside money. Like make it almost robotic what you do. If you're truly an investor, you don't have to have some kind of tie, emotional tie or anything, to a sentimental tie to those boxes. Like those boxes that you have in your SIL collection, your investment, that is literally there for that purpose. It's for the purpose that it will increase in value over time, and then at some point you will sell it to realize those gains. You got to remove the emotions from it. The last thing is when you go to sell. So say your name is Tommy. You've done an amazing job buying and selling booster boxes over the course of 10 years. 10 years down the line, you have, let's say, I don't know, like 50 sealed cases of different boxes from different generations and everything over the course of time. And Tommy's ready to sell. But here's the thing, Tommy never learned how to sell in terms of having a business. So Tommy, then has to change his name to Timmy because 10 years down the line, while he does have very desirable products, if he's going to, Facebook or Bookface Marketplace, whatever it is, 10, 20 years down the line, then it's not going to give him 100% of the value. He's going to have to sell that below market value at some sort of percentage. And likely, if he wanted to sell all of that at one time, it would go towards a large reseller or rip and ship, things like that. And he would have to take probably 60 to 70% of that. If they're very desirable boxes and things like that, maybe it's up to 80, 85%. And that's going to be very successful for Tommy, okay? But let's flip that around on its head, and let's say that Tommy learned how to sell over time. He started a small side hustle Pokemon card business. He opened an eBay shop, started selling on TCG Player, started networking with people. Well, that Tommy that started all of those processes and learned how to actually ship, learned how to navigate different platforms and marketplaces, learned how to connect and network with other collectors, vendors, and sellers in the space. Tommy is going to crush it. Tommy is probably going to realize, Tommy's going to realize 85, 90 plus percent of that product because he's going to know exactly how to offload it to maximize product profits. Will he be able to offload it in one night vending? Probably not. But Tommy, in that situation, would have an exit plan. He would say, for the next year, for the next 2 years, I'm going to stop purchasing products and I'm going to focus on selling and realizing the gains that I have. Tommy is equipped with the knowledge to be the most successful in the business. But here's the deal. As I said, you want to make this as robotic as you want to remove your emotions from it as much as possible. Even if you're in that first Tommy situation where you have zero understanding of how to sell the product, you still win because that product over the course of 10, 15, 20 years has astronomically increased in price. And so even if you get 60, 70, 80% of what the value is, you've still realized a ton of gains there. And I bet Tommy would still be very happy with that, with that situation of selling that product and realizing those gains for whatever they need the money for at that time. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope this helped. Do not believe the lies. You do not have to watch YouTubers release content every single day for you to be successful in investing. You can invest in Pokemon, turn your brain off, become a robot, and be successful in 5 to 10 years. It's that simple. Pokemon content is extremely entertaining. I watch it almost every single day. I enjoy my favorite content creators. I'm not saying don't enjoy or consume the content. I'm just trying to say know your goals and just know that you can be successful without chasing the next hype cycle or the next hot item that a YouTuber mentions and talks about. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.